either to kill it in the case of Phoenix and Keeper of the Light, or to not clump up like in the case of Wyvern.
Yeah. So you see both teams already kind of very, very similar drafts in that case, with the Winter Wyvern and the Earthshaker being that, well, you can't clump up here. But then you have a Chen and IO who can teleport random people across the map, be unseen by wards. Seems to be pretty similar ideas here in this draft.
Yeah, they have a lot of options on the offlane for OG. Since you have this Earthshaker Fissure block, you can kind of get away with heroes that are otherwise more at risk of the lane being closer to the tower. Usually ranged heroes come to mind, but yeah, Pugna. I wasn't confident enough to predict Pugna. It's very good against Wyvern. I just thought against Centaur they wouldn't go for it. But the heroes that I come to mind when I think of Earthshaker are like the Necros, the Pugnas, the Enchantresses, who's not quite very meta anymore. All these ranged heroes that are usually pretty fast, that just don't want people to close the gap and basically kill them. Like, they're not gonna. But that's exactly what this is about, right? The Pugna is most likely queued up to be an offlaner, and Anti-Mage, he wants to be in your face, and Pugna will struggle heavily in the laning matchup. So OG might consider rotating it to the safe lane. I think this is an incredibly good Anti-Mage game thus far. In terms of, like, once he gets his items, he's very scary, but he might not get there is what I'm concerned about for them.
So I think the drafting philosophy from Crow here is really interesting. You can see, like, in game one, they had this idea of this, like, fast split push, this skirmish power, but no team fight. And in that, the best way to protect yourself is against the Pugna's Death Prophets, Lycans, all right? And so they banned 2 of the 3 of those heroes in the first ban. This time around, they leave it all out there, but they do have a much heavier amount of team fight that they can actually contest. Still plenty of split push, but because the IO's left out there in the pool, they are able to still group up and fight OG.
You need a fight disruptor, though. I think Invokers was a good ban. You just need some hero that just forces a little bit of chaos such that their positioning may not be as good. You don't want to start every single fight with Wyvern Curse, so the Invoker Tornado EMP would be great setup. Obviously Centaur is set up in the sense that he starts the fight by ulting everyone in, but he usually doesn't go Blink Dagger until after like a full pipe, maybe one other item. So what are they going? Batrider, there you go. That's a hero that starts the fight.
The middle Batrider then. But that means, okay, so what heroes are good middle versus Batrider, since you pretty much do know it's going to be him?
I'm fascinated if they might put Pugna mid, because Pugna is so fast that if you buy like Windlace and boots, it's really hard even for Batrider to dive you when you have a couple stickies on you, just because you're so fast. He has like 335 base movement speed on Pugna. But I'm only saying that as a possibility because you have the choice to counter Bat or the Anti-Mage. That's actually both. That's actually a really good pick. That might be a mid Legion for all I know. Let's see who picks it. Seb picked it.
Okay.
I'm assuming it's going to go against the Anti-Mage. It seems really rough to put the Pugna against the Anti-Mage lane. Pugna is like purely position based, and he matchup sounds pretty god awful. So Legion, I have not liked this hero all that much, but against Anti-Mage Batrider, I like it a lot. They do have the Wyvern Cold Embrace to save it, but I think this quite like
that. I like the fact that I don't want to play Legion Commander against Winter Wyvern or IO, but the fact that they already have the answers to those heroes. They have lots of magic damage. They have plenty of team fight. They have ways to be able to, on that setup, they can just drop a bunch of damage.
I'm sorry to interrupt. 33 Chen, by the way. And it is a no-tail Earthshaker.
Dude, I'm down making this Pugna support against the Anti-Mage. I think that's actually very, very cool.
Okay, guys,
is there any chance they swap roles just because Saksa does have experience playing
No, I think it's
not at all.
They played 33 Chen on Alliance before, so I'm down for this OG draft, man. I like it.
It should be a damn good one as we see a 33 Chen. Not only that, guys, it's a miracle Anti-Mage. Can he do it again? We'll have to find out as we go into game number 2.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to ESL 1 LA. Intel, it's game number 2 of OG versus Nigma.
I do like their lineup. I actually think this is a pretty nice anti-mage game. It should be pretty hard for him to die. The amount of damage that they can burst him off for like AoE is, it's alright, but kind of like for an anti-mage anyways, it might be lacking. And I kind of worry about this mid lane for 33. It's actually going to be Ceb mid. They're going to switch things up. I like this. 33 is an offlaner, so it makes sense, but he's going to be put against Weehaw mid. Ceb, I very rarely see him mid. Yeah, I'm sure he's fine at it. Like, I'm sure he's still a good player, so he'll figure it out. But not really his natural role.
You know, I guess what better time than now?
Than right now.
To try to change things up or stir the pot a bit and see how things can taste. As it's just, you know, it's ESL Online, it's a league. We have lots of games ahead of us. They already have the game 1 win. You know, whether it be an intriguing draft situation where they kind of need to make these last-minute calls or not, whatever it may be, I'm excited. I'm going to be hopefully entertained. 33 making the cross-country cross-country trip. That tip threw me off a bit, as 33 will head all the way up north. GH getting in for the outpost there. It's good to see GH again on the Wisp, and I'm sure he's feeling good about some of the headdress buffs.
This is the perfect GH hero. You know, he just helps you out.
He's just a spirit.
Yeah, he's just there to help you.
He's positive. It's positive energy, and that's all. If only
now that we're you know, I'll tell you my favorite GH story of all time.
Oh yes, please.
So I think people have heard this before, but it bears repeating. So Matsu obviously got kicked from Liquid before TI. He's feeling very down about himself, and of course his fellow teammates come to, you know, they send him messages because they've been together for so long.
Yeah.
And GH ends up calling him on the phone. He's like, hey, I just wanted to make sure you're okay. I really, like, I'm so sad that this had to happen and stuff like that. And Matu said by the end of the call, it was Matu that had to consult GH because he was so distraught over the situation. And he's like, and he was apparently like really messed up, and he's like, it's okay. And it like made Matu better that he felt bad about the entire situation. So that is him in a nutshell. Very sweet guy.
What a bro. And while sweet on the outside, he can bring some
he's not nice,
seriously aggravating and intense gameplay on the inside. You think he's all nice until you're on the other team trying to take down your core, and then he shows up to save him, and you're like, come on, man.
He does not make life easy for you at all.
Certainly not. All right, well, we are on pause. We are back underway, and very intrigued by the laning matchup here. But
who's playing the Pugna as
that roaming support? Fast Pugna.
Yeah, he manages to just get a kill, and Notail's going to be playing a 5 Earthshaker, which means this is going to be a Core Chen.
So what does that mean? That means it's a fast lineup, right? I mean, who actually is in a lot of trouble top lane.
He's dead. Yeah, he's going to be first blood. This is something that Alliance used to run for 33. It's pretty dangerous. They usually put him as like the offlane Chen. You get some creeps, you're able to fight, and then you just push at a very reasonable time. Yeah, not really sure what they're going for here, but it kind of fits in like the theme of the type of lineups that they like to run.
Of course. Yeah,
that is a really nice kill. Mind control as
Notail sets up a beautiful blocked fissure, and with the follow-up homing missile and rocket barrage, I'm sure they can make quick work of the Centaur mid lane. Ceb dancing around with Weehaw's Bat Rider. You know, Weehaw Bat, well versed in the mid lane, as we know, so he knows the limitations of the hero and how far he can stretch it.
Yeah, Weehaw, very good. He plays all those weird mid heroes. You know, the ones that like you don't really expect. The Earth Spirits, the Wind Rangers, Meepos. He plays Timber, Bat Rider. Like, of course, a lot of people play like Timber and Bat, but it's just like Weehaw likes to add a little bit of flair to the game. He brings his pub mentality towards his professional games, which I think is really cool.
And this is a guy who started Meepo primarily, and
yeah, the
definitely flourished into always having these intriguing pickups. Not usually the cookie cutter cores that everyone else is going for. Yeah, he's always kind of thinking outside the box and willing to be a bit more flexible with his hero pool. It's always nice to have that kind of specialty core player on your team.
And Miracle is off to an okay-ish start. He's got 12 CS. He's doing pretty well for himself. Saksa is going to make his way up here, decrep him, and just run away. He might still go for the chase. He does have Orb of Venom, but without a Blinks available, looks like they'll just chill.
Yeah, they're quick to assess the situation on what could be a potential overdive or not, and try to just calculate whether it's better to step back for the farm. It's going to be, I imagine, a very methodical game in that right for Nigma and for Miracle to just continue to nourish himself up so he can be that threat, certainly later on. Looks like Kuro has joined the bottom lane to be side by side with My Control, and his Centaur, those fissure stuns can be quite annoying. So it's good to have the Wyvern nearby as a bailout. And that Bassi, I'm sure, helps.
And this mid Legion